Well, hello there, beautiful people. I am 1 week post-op. No, I'm a little over 1 week post-op. Today is day 10, and so far my stats are my highest weight was 286, and my day of surgery I weighed 258. And today and the past 3 days I've weighed 248. Haven't lost anything. It was going well, like a pound a day, but today will be day 3 of not losing anything, and I really think it's because I'm just like crazy bloated. It's that time of the month. Nothing I can do about that, so it is what it is. Well, I made notes this time, guys, so that I hopefully don't miss out on anything. I guess the first thing I'm going to talk about is surgery day. Yeah. So my surgery was at 6 a.m. I hear a lot of people saying theirs was like at 11 and 12, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, good God, if I had to like not eat anything from midnight until 11 that day, I'd kind of be like definitely sad or bitchy, one or the other. So it was at 6 a.m. and my 2 best friends went with me and my best friend's dad, and we got there a little early, checked in. The surgery itself wasn't that long, but in all, like maybe 4 hours, like from the time I went back in until recovery. Let's see. My surgeon did say that I did really, really well on my pre-op diet because he was able to tell that I did lose fat on my liver, and that it made his job really easy. So that's good. I am really proud of myself because besides that cheat day that I had with that omelet, I really forced myself to stick to it. Also, my ex-boyfriend, who is my best friend, I didn't think he was gonna come because he had work that day, and he did show up and surprisingly brought me flowers, which I had been asking him for like 12 years for flowers, and I never got them until today. Well, that day. Really, really nice and really unexpected. Also, pain. I feel like that's a question everyone asks, like pain. I hear a lot of things, and I hear that a lot of people have like really bad gas pain after surgery, and it's super uncomfortable. To be honest, pain was uncomfortable, definitely, when the pain meds were off. Like, I was in pain, but not severe pain. Definitely like bearable, but very uncomfortable. And nausea was probably my worst thing, and even before that, like before that surgery, nausea is just a thing that I really have a hard time tolerating. I get motion sickness, so when I'm in the car with someone, or if I'm on a roller coaster or on a swing or things like that, I get nauseous, and it sucks, and I am not good at all with nausea. I'm much better with pain than with nausea. So the nausea was so freaking bad, guys. Like, oh my God. And the medication that they give you to keep you from being nauseous was great, because at first they were giving it to me every 4 hours, and then they realized that it was making my heart rate drop, and they told me that they were not allowed to give it to me so close together. It had to be more spaced out, and they were talking like every maybe 6 hours. 6 hours sounds about right. And I can remember like the first time that I had to have space in between having the medication, the nausea just got worse and worse and worse, and I was getting up pretty well, like moving around pretty great. I was getting up to use the restroom and like coming out of the bathroom, like every time I would go pee, like the nausea got like 10 times worse. And then I started to like you know, like when you're dry heaving, like nothing is coming out but the action is there. That was really bad. And my nurse at the time, my overnight nurse, she was not very pleasant, and at least not during that situation. And I like got to the bed, but I couldn't really move much, and I started to like dry heave, and she was like, oh no, don't throw up on the bed. And in my head I'm like, okay bitch, are you gonna give me something to throw up in? Like the bin was like right in between the two of us, like on the table. Like she could have grabbed it and gave it to me, but she didn't. So I had to get up, lean up, and go grab it myself and put it in front of me, just in case there was anything to come up. Nothing did come up, but it just was like, why are you here? And she wasn't like straightforward with me at first as to why I couldn't have the nausea medication right away. And she just kept saying like, oh, I'll give it to you in an hour. An hour went by. I called for her. I didn't get it. She said in another hour, same thing happened. So the third time that I called her, that's when she told me it's because it's making my heart rate drop and I can't have it, you know, that often. So that really pissed me off. Like, just tell me, because you have me like sitting up waiting. Let's see, I only stayed in the hospital overnight. I was only there for one night. And the next day I got up and I was walking around fine. Everything was good. My nurse that next morning was awesome, and my nurse for the afternoon, the day that I left, she was even more amazing. Oh, so for pain meds for home, they gave me Tylenol with codeine, but in a liquid form. And I just want to talk about that just a little bit. So they gave me that prescription like a month and a half before surgery, and you know, they tell you put it in right away because it needs prior authorization from your insurance company, so it takes a long time. And I put the prescription in. The prescription was denied, obviously, because with it being a pain medication, insurance companies need a lot more information on as to why you need it now. So, and not only that, because it's in liquid form. So like the 12th, I had put the prescription in. The 15th, it was denied. And my surgery was the 27th. So I was worried. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, you know, so I called my bariatric office, the surgeon's office, and I talked to them, and she said, oh, you know, it doesn't get denied that quickly. I would just, you know, wait and see. And I said, no, you know, I was on the phone with my insurance company today, and they told me it's denied, that you need to give them more information. And she said, no, just, you know, wait it out. So then I like kind of forgot about it. And the day before surgery, or the day, 2 days before surgery, I called her again and I said, hey, my prescription is still not filled and it's still not processed. And she was like, oh no. And I'm like, yeah. And so she called the insurance company and spoke to them, and they like rushed it, and it was available for me that day. No, you know what? It was the day before surgery, because I picked it up. Yeah, it was the day before surgery. As far as pain at home, like I was, again, not in severe pain. By day 4, I really wasn't in much pain at all, except for my back, which is not correlated to my surgery. My back issues are from something else, and the medication that I was taking before surgery for my back was working pretty great to help it, and then after surgery it just is doing nothing for me, and I have quite a bit of back pain. So I continue to take the medication even though my stomach was not hurting. I've seen a lot of people's videos where like they barely touch theirs at all, which I probably wouldn't have either if I wasn't in back pain. So I did still use the medication for that reason, just so that I wouldn't be uncomfortable. I didn't have any nausea from the day after surgery to coming home, I had no nausea at all. So that was great. It was really just that first day of surgery and into the night I had the real bad nausea, but not the next day. That went away, and I was like, thank God, because I don't think I could handle any more of that. So then let's talk about like what I ate. So the second day they like ordered breakfast for me, and I guess I did well with like water and ice overnight. So in the morning they were like, yeah, you can have Jello. They gave me Jello, tea, broth. Oh my God, I cannot remember what else was on there. I didn't eat the Jello or anything like that. I literally just had like 2 sips of broth, and that was it. And then I had more water, and then my lunch came. Well, my nurse she's like, you know, you don't want to eat anything more than that, you know. And I'm just like, no, I'm not hungry. I felt no hunger whatsoever. So lunch was the same exact thing as breakfast, and again, I just had like a few spoonfuls of broth, and that was it. Getting in water is a struggle. So at the hospital, I ate just like, I love hospital ice, guys. I'm sure you do too. Everyone loves hospital ice. And it was like so much easier to like, I like really cold water, and I like hospital ice, so that was great, and that went well. But home, when you have to get in like over like 40 some ounces of water, it's such a struggle. The day that I went home, the surgeon said, you know, keep a water bottle with you at all times, which I do. So here in my makeup room, these are just hanging out, and I try to like sip them throughout the day, because if not, you don't get in the amount of water. Now the first 3 days were so rough for me. No, I'm not gonna lie. The first 6 days were so rough to get water down. Like, it hurt physically to like take a sip of water. So sometimes I would just put enough in my mouth to like wet my mouth. Like, it wasn't even like an actual sip, and I would just do that many times throughout the day just to get water in. I would have broth, and it like literally 3 spoonfuls, and that was it. After day 3, I moved on to full liquids, which then I was able to incorporate 1 protein shake a day, and sugar-free popsicles, and sugar-free pudding, which I didn't take advantage of until today, and yogurt. Yogurt was I think I didn't have any yogurt till like day 5. So I was able to have coffee like from the day I went home, but I don't like coffee black, so I didn't have any coffee until day 3, when I could add a protein shake, because then I just mixed my coffee and my protein shake together. You're not really supposed to have caffeine because it dehydrates you and you need to get in all of your liquids, but I can't function without it, so I still drink it, and then I try to, you know, get in more water throughout the day. Day 7 was amazing because I realized I was able to swallow more than just to like wet my mouth, and I was actually able to like have a sip of water, have a sip of my protein shake, and it didn't hurt going down. Technically in 4 days I start my period foods, and I would be allowed to have eggs, but I had an egg today because I couldn't wait, and I was like, what the fuck, I want an egg. I also tried the ricotta bake that everyone loves so much, but I tried that a few days ago because ricotta cheese was on my full liquids list for some reason, so it wasn't like in my period stage, it was like in my full liquids. So ricotta and what the hell is that other cheese? I can't think. Cottage cheese, which I usually don't like by itself mixed with fruit or something, but I can't do that, so I'm not eating it. But I did have the ricotta cheese, and I had an egg today, which I mixed with low-fat milk and mozzarella cheese with part skim, and it went down pretty well. I didn't have any issues. I see that a lot of people have a hard time with eggs, which kind of fucking sucks, but what can you do? I did notice before starting, I couldn't start my vitamins until day 8. Day 8 was when I was allowed to have my vitamins. Before then, I was having like leg cramps, and they stopped once I start taking my vitamins. So they like pump gas into your tummy, I guess, to like make sure maybe there's no leaks or something. And I just burped like a lot. I still do, like I burp a lot. And if you know me personally, I already burp a lot, like a guy. And I'm not shy about it. Now it's even worse. Today is probably like the first time that I've had like pains from gas, but they weren't like really bad. And also, if you're not comfortable with some TMI conversation, maybe you want to fast forward. I don't know, but we're about to talk bowel movements at the moment. Yeah. So, I've been following like a lot of people's journeys because I want to be aware of like anything and everything that can happen. What could go wrong? What could go right? What is okay? What's not okay? Whatever. So, before surgery, I was having some issues with constipation, and I'm just assuming that it was from the medication that I had started taking, because I never ever had issues like that in my life. And I started a few medications together around the same time within the same month, so it was really hard to tell. I started, one for my back problems, one for a thyroid issue, which I never knew I had until earlier this year, and omeprazole, which is for heartburn, which also I never had an issue with until earlier this year. So turning 31 came with a lot of problems. That's all right. I'm saying earlier this year, but I mean last year, because it's definitely 2019 right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. So most people, and my nurse, the day that I left, had said, it's totally normal for you to not have a bowel movement for even up to 10 days after leaving the hospital. And a lot of people say like even up to 13 to 15 days, people still have not had like a bowel movement. And when they do, there's not much to it, because literally the majority of things you're putting in your body is liquid. So the way it's coming out is liquid. But on day 5, like post-op day 5, I had a bowel movement. It was not liquid, and I felt like before surgery, like when I was like super constipated, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, everything I'm taking in is water. Like, how is, or liquid food, like how is this even possible? And I'm thinking, and I'm like researching and looking, and it's probably because like I'm not getting in enough water, and whatever was there may have been there waiting for a while. And since then, I have gone 2 other times, and that has been fine. And I'm just like, all these people don't have bowel movements for like 10 days, and I've gone 3 times in 10 days. And I'm just like, I'll take it. I will take it. So the last thing that I want to talk about is your body going into ketosis, which I really didn't know anything about because I have not tried the keto diet. I don't know anything about it. I hear lots of great things. But I had noticed before surgery that my breath was like so bad, guys. So bad. And I thought it was the protein shakes, because that's the majority of like what I was having. And they taste good, but they don't taste that good. And I'm like, that's probably why I have bad breath right now. And it continued after surgery, but like right after surgery, I noticed other things. Like, guys, my whole body, like from head to toe, does not smell like myself. Nothing at all. Like, and I was with my friend, and he was like, did you wash your hair? And I was like, no. He was like, are you using a new shampoo? And I was like, no. Like, why? And you could tell like in his voice that he didn't like the smell. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, why does my hair stink? Like, does my hair stink? And he's like, he's like, it doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't smell good either. As soon as he said that to me, it hit me, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things that I've noticed that I don't smell like myself, like, whatsoever. And so I like went to this Facebook group that I'm in, and I had started asking questions. I also started Googling, and it's because of the way that I'm eating, like not having any carbs or things like that. My body, it has gone into ketosis, and during that period, a lot of people have body odor, bad breath, things like that. And a lot of people have said that it doesn't last that long, so hopefully, I mean, I don't smell that bad. Like, people are saying they have to put on deodorant 2-3 times a day. I don't. I just put it on once, and I don't feel like the smell is that bad other than my breath. My breath is really bad, so I try to keep sugar-free gum with me at all times. I'm a makeup artist, and I'm like in people's faces, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't go back to work like this. Like, just gonna keep gum. So yeah, that's probably one thing I'm not excited about it, and I want it to kind of like go away. But you know, everyone says once you start eating a little more regularly that it does go away, so that's good. Because I was like, oh my God, do I need to buy a new soap, a new shampoo? What is going on here? And now I know. But that's exciting because your body being in ketosis is a good thing. Help to burn some fat. So that's exciting. Oh, one more thing. I did want to include that, like, just to show you like portion sizes. So I went from being able to eat this to being now able to eat this. And these are my eggs from today. So yeah, just to give you an idea. I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed my 1 week post-op video, and hopefully I will have more things to talk about in my 2 week post-op video. I will try to do them every week if I can. Actually, I feel like this is a lot easier to get out than a makeup tutorial, because a makeup tutorial, like, I have to do the whole shebang and edit it, and it's a lot, and I feel like this is so much easier. Like, I don't even have to edit this video if I don't want to. I just throw that joint up there and call it a day. Yes, follow me on Instagram because I post a lot of crap on my story, updates that I won't do here, and that's about it. Bye guys.